Good evening and welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Hallie Reeves.
And I'm William Traylor. We have a packed show for you tonight, starting things off with what's new here in Oxford, and later on, we'll have a national news update you won't want to miss.
Starting things off, the retrial for former University of Mississippi student Sheldon Timothy Harrington Jr. is scheduled for December 1st. Harrington is charged with capital murder in connection to Ole Miss student Jimmy J. Lee back in 2022. The original trial was supposed to take place in December of 2024, but a mistrial was declared. The retrial was then scheduled for October 13th, but was postponed due to Lafayette County Circuit Court Judge Kelly Luther filing an order to reschedule. The trial will pick up once the jury is selected and those jurors are transported to Oxford.
In somber news, a familiar face on campus has passed away. Yesterday, Dr. Jeremy Roberts, Ole Miss alumni and the Assistant Director of the Academic Support Programs for the Center for Student Success and First Year Experience, passed away at the UM Medical Center in Jackson. Dr. Roberts' coworkers remember him as a remarkable person for the joy he brought to students and his coworkers. He was 42 years old, and our thoughts are with his family at this time.
Moving to something a little bit more technical, the Ole Miss School of Engineering showed off their robot dog in the circle today. Students said the fun little dog is both cute and interesting, but it actually plays a really important role in the department. They are working in building a sensory array so they can send the dog into hazardous environments where we wouldn't want to see any humans. It should be able to test air quality, soil, compaction, and unknown hazards, helping both military and law enforcement. How cool.
We just want to let people know that we're out here and we're doing things, that the public can actually get involved in. So, yeah, the more people that know, the better.
Ball and Lisa Barber are off to the races again. Adam Ball and Barber will face off in a runoff election for the Lafayette County's District 2 Elections Commissioner. Adam Ball is currently leading the vote with 320 votes, and Barber came in second with 243 votes. The runoff election will be held on Tuesday, December 2nd.
The government shutdown has impacted many parts of people's day-to-day lives, and now it's impacting this weekend's Ole Miss football game against the Citadel. How you ask? Well, no B-2 bomber planes will fly over the Vaught to open the game this weekend. And this is because the military planes that we often see fly over the Vaught, well, they operate out of Missouri and they're funded by the federal government. And just one day after the government shutdown began, military administrators informed Ole Miss athletics that flyovers would not be possible until the shutdown ended. Military personnel say this is normal practice during a government shutdown.
It's that time of semester. Thanksgiving break is just around the corner. Can you believe that?
3 weeks away. Wow.
I know. The weather, we say this every week. The weather's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold, it's everywhere.
And it's not going to get any warmer, but luckily, a new spot on campus is serving up coffee made in Tennessee with some Caribbean flair.
Let's take a look at this new student-owned business with NewsWatch reporter Alexia Anderchek.
Students now have a new way to get their caffeine fix. In recent weeks, Grindhead Coffee parked at Insight Park, which is near the Ole Miss soccer fields, with the hopes of fueling up students walking to campus from the nearby off-campus housing. Owner and Ole Miss student Addie George says that their mission is to quickly serve up coffee to students, as well as provide opportunities for student employment.
I'm 25, so I'm a little bit older than typical juniors. But when I came here, there wasn't a whole lot of job availability outside of bar life and late night jobs and things like that.
Being a student herself, George hopes to empower other young entrepreneurs.
I really hope to do things like this on the campus and maybe other college campuses to show students that even though you're in your undergrad, there's not an age requirement to start doing your own things.
Serving up coffees, teas, energizers, and more, Grindhead Coffee is ready to serve students who are on the go. Reporting for NewsWatch Ole Miss from Insight Park, I'm Alexia Intercheck.
I mean, that looks delicious.
It really does. It really does. I need some coffee too. Like every day this week has been just cold enough for me to have to get that little warm
I feel like
dose.
it's an aesthetic. You need it for the aesthetic.
Yeah, you know, it kind of matches a little bit too, those new Starbucks cups. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to have a weather forecast from yours truly, NewsWatch Ole Miss. We'll be right back.
Think of like Starbucks, that cinnamon like espresso that comes
Think
out.
of that warm smell.
Yes, that's what
those
that
cinnamon
package
candles and
reminded me
everything.
of.
Yeah, I know. In Mississippi, it's odd because you get like 2 weeks of fall, and
I
then
know.
it's straight into winter. Like this weekend, that we're about to show in just a minute. It's crazy around here, but
I
man,
know, I can't believe it. What were the conditions looking like tonight?
it's gonna be like 55, like fall is supposed to be. And then in 2 days, it's
I'm
gonna be.
holding on to the fact that we
You
still
should.
have summer, that we
You
should
got
still
to.
have summer.
You have to, because we only have a
I know.
Well, just a few technical difficulties there, but that's all right. We still have some nice sunny weather to talk about and some not so sunny weather to talk about. Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm William Traylor with Stormwatch. 74 degrees today on campus. It was a really nice day. We really felt that fall energy come through with the 74-degree weather and no wind, no precipitation, and the humidity at 61%. Well, that's a fall day for Mississippi if I've ever seen one. Around the region, what you see is very similar. 76 here in Oxford, 74 in Holly Springs, and 77 in Tupelo. So around here we also see no precipitation. That 0% chance of precipitation, well, you're seeing it right there. Nothing at all in the region to speak of. Tonight, we're going to stay with that cold weather that we have seen for quite some time. 55 degrees, well, maybe not quite cold, but if you're from Mississippi, that's cold enough. That's cold enough. 55 degrees this evening. Clear skies, no wind, no precipitation. It'll just be a nice, chilly evening for everyone here in the Mid-South area. Tomorrow, 74 degrees. We're kind of going to go back to what we've been at today with that same temperature, that same fall-like feel. 70 highs, 50 lows. It's a nice fluctuation. It's a nice range for that fall weather, and that's what we expect. 5-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow, 0% chance of precipitation. That precipitation isn't going to come until the weekend. I'm going to tell you more about that in just 1 second. But again, tomorrow's highs 55 here in Oxford and around the region, around that same 78, 73, and 75 in Tupelo. In Tupelo, 75 degrees, which is, again, nice fall weather. So here at Stormwatch, I want to give you our newest advance in technology, which is a 7-day forecast. So tomorrow, 55 degrees, and we're going to see that go all the way down the line until Sunday, which is when we're going to see that significant drop in temperatures. Y'all prepare for this, 27 degrees. And in Mississippi, that means a lot. That means that you need to cover up the pipes in your house. That means that you need to turn that heater on before Sunday and make sure that it's working. A lot of folks have propane heaters. We need to make sure that you have propane in that tank to make sure that that 27-degree weather doesn't freeze you out. And I know there are so many people that try so hard to not turn on their heaters until the very last minute, until that last second. Well, that's that last second right there. 27 degrees is going to do it for just about anybody here in the South to cut on that heater and to start warming things up. And I would really suggest doing that Sunday, because if you start when it's 47 degrees, it's going to be a lot cheaper and a lot easier to warm that house up than if you start when it's 27 degrees. So keep that in mind with your weekend forecast. But as we get through the weekend and we go back into the week, we're going to have 1 day of cold weather with that 25-degree low on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we're going to return back to some normal fall temperatures, and that's really going to bring us back into the fall weather that we've all been wanting and waiting for, that we haven't really had a lot of, and that we're certainly not going to see this weekend. But
That was some rapid fire weather. I like it. I'm getting.
Well, we're going to try to get through it as quick as we can.
We're set up for the weekend.
Yeah, just get a jacket for the weekend and get ready to throw it right back in the bag.
So I should be wearing a red jacket Saturday.
Red jacket Saturday night. Yeah, maybe even wear it Sunday, because you know we're going to win that game. But next week around Tuesday, you're going to want to take that jacket off, put it right back in the back seat, because you won't need it again.
Well, how are we looking? What's going on this weekend?
Well, there's a lot going on in sports, but we have some new protocols coming into action, as well as a deeper look into the weekend with football. You won't want to miss this sports update after the break.
Thank you so much for that forecast, William. We don't want to be the one driving. There's one app every turns to. Our reporter Olivia Waltzer gives us the insight into how Oxford's busiest days and nights are driving big businesses for one popular company and what riders should know to stay safe.
Especially Uber have become an essential mode of transportation for Ole Miss students. On any given day, Uber offers hundreds of rides across Oxford. But during major events like Ole Miss football weekends, the demand is much higher. Local drivers report earning as much as $600 on these busy nights.
My top safety tip for students using Ubers in Oxford or any sort of like rideshare would be to double check your vehicle's information that's picking you up. If you have the opportunity to do so, wait in a lidded public area or potentially even inside if possible, but just double check your information before hopping into a vehicle.
Uber's app comes with several safety features like trip sharing, live ride tracking, and an emergency assistance button. Still, local law enforcement remind students to stay vigilant, especially during late-night rides.
Make sure that I check that the license plate matches what it says on my app, and then whenever I get in the car, I make sure that they tell me who they're picking up to make sure it's for me.
In response to safety concerns, Oxford officials have stepped up designated rideshare pickup locations around the square. These areas, monitored by the Oxford Police Department, aim to reduce congestion and enhance safety. Square transportation hubs such as this one are meant to make rideshares easier and safer. It's all a part of Oxford's bigger initiative to keep everybody safe. In Oxford, I'm Olivia Waltzer, NewsWatch.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Sydney McGee with Sports Watch. Breaking this morning, the Dallas Cowboys' second-year defensive end Marshawn Kneeland dies at 24. The Cowboys released a statement that said, in part, Marshawn was a beloved teammate and member of our organization. Our thoughts and prayers regarding Marshawn are with his girlfriend Catalina and his family. Kneeland was the Cowboys' second-round pick from Western Michigan in 2024. And assistant coach Greg Ellis said, quote, he epitomized what you look for in a football player. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, know you are never alone and call 998. A standoff between ESPN and YouTube TV sports reporter Nina Howdeshell has the inside scoop.
Sports fans, YouTube TV and ESPN have broken up, and it is messy. Each company is publicly blaming the other over the contract renewal collapse. On October 30th, YouTube TV subscribers lost access to ESPN, ABC, and all other channels owned by Disney. YouTube said in a statement, "We continue to urge Disney to work with us constructively to reach a fair agreement." Disney fired back, accusing YouTube, which is owned by Google, of using its market dominance to eliminate competition and undercut the industry standard terms we've successfully negotiated with every other distributor. ESPN is the #1 cable network on YouTube TV from viewers ages 18 to 49. This blackout is leaving sports fans in shambles. Hopefully the two companies can reach an agreement soon. Nina Howdeshell, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Ole Miss Athletics will be changing their system for ticket purchases for the 2026 season. Athletics sent the email out last night stating, quote, that enter the lottery, students must join the Flair app and attend the last 2 home games of the season to be eligible. During the first media timeout, the Flair code will be released and students will be required to confirm their location in the stadium. This new method for obtaining student ticket sales tackles the accommodation for the growing student body, as well as making sure students attend the remaining games of the season in support of Lane Kiffin and the Rebels as they shoot for the college football playoffs. By participating in this, students will be granted 2 opportunities to be selected for early access 2026 season tickets. Ole Miss football heads into the week 11, 8-1, hoping to keep their record at only 1 loss as they continue the playoff race this weekend against the Citadel. After coming off a strong game against South Carolina last weekend, highlighted by a strong performance by the offensive line, which allowed no sacks for the 4th time this season. At the press conference on Monday, Lane Kiffin continued to praise offensive lineman Jaden Williams for, quote, answering the call against one of the premier players in the country, defensive end Dylan Stewart. On the other side of the line of scrimmage, the defense delivered by sacking Lenore Sellers 6 times, tying for their most in a game this season. With 2 more SEC games on the schedule, the Rebels will use this weekend to keep building and sharpen details against the very disciplined Citadel team. Kickoff will be at 12 p.m. and streamed on ESPN. The perspective of the players are just what we want to hear, and Daquan Wright spoke on Tuesday about the game.
We just got to stay focused. We can't, take no days off. We can't hold back. We just got to, just stay focused, stay in line, and, just take one game at a time.
Ole Miss track and field legend Brittany Reese, Rebel football great Lewis Guy, and former strength coach Johnny Parker have all been announced as members of the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame class of 2026. The official induction will be the weekend of July 31st through August 1st, 2026, and Reese won a gold and 2 silvers over her course of her 4 Olympic Games and is qualified for 11 World Championships in the long jump. Lewis, the Mississippi native, was a part of the 10-0 1962 National Championship campaign and finished up his career with 37 receptions for 440 yards and 6 touchdowns while rushing for 424 yards on 90 carries. Johnny was with the program from 1980 to 1983, and while he never played football, he worked for Ole Miss, South Carolina, LSU, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, the Green Bay Packers, and finally the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe this weekend we can watch a Hall of Famer in the making, and this, my bet, will be on Trinidad Chambliss. Tune in tomorrow at 6 to watch our sports talk show, Rebel Watch. And don't forget to head to the pavilion right after Rebel Watch for the 6:30 men's basketball tip-off. William and Hallie, what's new in the news over at the desk?
Well, we'll tell you, Sydney, and thank you for that sports report. We appreciate that. Well, the government shutdown has continued to break records as the longest shutdown in history. The Senate met this morning to attempt to negotiate details of a deal that could reopen the government. However, it's unclear when the Senate will vote again on that proposed bill.
Last week, J.D. Vance spoke on the shutdown during his visit to campus with Turning Point USA.
The reality here is that there's a very simple bill that just reopens the government. It does it through pretty much the end of the year. That got every single Republican in the House of Representatives to support it, and then it got 52 Republicans in the Senate and 3 Democrats in the Senate to support it. But because of weird Senate procedural rules, it requires a 60-vote threshold. So on that issue in particular, when you have every single Republican, with like 2 exceptions in both houses of Congress, I feel pretty confident. I know that I'm partisan. I know I have an R next to my name, but I feel pretty damn good saying the shutdown is the Democrats' fault.
In more shutdown-related news, the skies are getting a lot less crowded this Friday. United and Delta are pulling the plug on hundreds of flights as the Trump administration orders a 10% cut. This is in air traffic at 40 airports nationwide.
The company United Airlines alone is canceling 200 flights, which have hit regional routes the hardest. United serves a lot of those regional routes, so if you're flying this weekend, you may want to check your flight status before you head to the airport, as Memphis International is also part of that reduction.
And taking a little bit break from the shutdown, more than 153,000 people have been laid off this past month. That's 175% more than this time last year, making it the worst October for job cuts in over 2 decades.
Experts say artificial intelligence is changing the game as companies start adopting new AI technology, which has replaced many positions for workers. As AI reshapes the workplace, workers and employers must now navigate what their roles may be in the future of work.
And moving things to Washington, D.C., a political giant steps down. Nancy Pelosi, the first and only woman to serve as House Speaker, announced Thursday she won't seek a re-election. This is after 38 years in Congress. Her announcement comes just 2 days after securing a major victory in California, where voters approved a ballot measure to redraw congressional maps in favor of Democrats.
Now, moving into entertainment. Halloween has come and gone. Well, students have had some pretty strong opinions on the costumes they saw over the weekend.
I for sure know I have. NewsWatch reporter Rosie Matlock went out to campus to get students' Halloween costume hot takes.
Hey Rebs, last week Halloween was in full swing. Let's find out what some of your favorite costumes were and what some of the costumes you would not like to see next year.
I think those both go to these kids that I saw dressed in a 6'7" costume. They just got a balloon 6 and a balloon 7 and stapled it to their chest or glued it to their chest or whatever. So.
Right, so that also wins best for you?
I wouldn't have thought of it.
Okay, so points for creativity.
Yeah, basically.
You know those alien things where they like carry a guy?
Yeah.
Oh man, I saw one of those guys running around. It was great.
So would you ever have that be your costume?
Maybe, but I have to get my friends to be other aliens and then they'd be chasing me. Know what I mean?
Right,
oh man,
right.
that.
You have to have an army.
No.
So what do you think like the worst costume is?
They're gonna hate me for this. Sorry, y'all, but them Disney costumes. Come on, man. Be original, you know?
Excuse me. How'd you feel about Halloween this year? No answer.
I saw a lot of Lane Kiffin, and I think that really brings out the spirit for Ole Miss.
I like it. Do you think that it was like almost a little overdone, or did you like seeing so many of them?
No, I actually saw less than I expected, and I really think that being Lane Kiffin was great for the school spirit. So.
I agree. So should we see more Lane Kiffins next year?
Absolutely.
So what should we see less of next year?
Oh, less of? Football players for sure.
Okay. So you're gonna have Lane Kiffin, but no football players?
Yeah.
Definitely like prisoners and like cops and stuff.
Yeah.
Too overworn.
Yeah, I've been seeing that for like 5 years now. I feel like we can lay it to rest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, switching gears from Halloween, another fall thing, Starbucks is already in the holiday spirit.
Yes, they are, and you might have noticed some longer lines in your morning coffee run as their holiday drink menu has officially launched in almost all of their stores.
The menu this year is pretty similar to years past, with staples like the sugar cookie latte, peppermint mocha, and the cranberry bliss bar. However, this year is the addition of the fun holiday merch collaboration with Hello Kitty.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
I love when they do, you know, the little plastic cups that they'll like give out when it's the holiday season. This is sounding like the collab, I'm assuming?
Hey, I guess I was in there and there were people looking at all those shelves, and there was one lady that was like on the phone with her daughter saying they got one with the Hello Kitty, they have one that's pink. So I guess they're a really popular thing, but I'm gonna stick with the
classic
hot white mocha, like I have done for several years. That's probably all it'll ever be.
What's your go-to Starbucks?
I have to say that. I mean, that's so good on a crisp winter day.
It goes to the iced in the summertime and then the hot in the winter. It's just a one-size-fits-all kind of deal, you know?
I liked last year, they did this cranberry drink. It was a refresher. I don't know, like, it does not sound appealing whatsoever, but there was just something about it that was great.
Cranberry refresher. All right, well, that's all we have for tonight.
I'm Hallie Reeves.
And I'm William Traylor with your latest news and weather.
And with Sports Watch, I'm Sydney McGee.
Thank you for watching NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.
Be sure to tune in Monday at 5 p.m. Good night.